Hey, what's up guys? It is Yoda here from Yoda Games, and today guys we are back with another Ark Dinosaur guide. And in this episode we are going to go with me talking a little bit about the next 5 dinosaurs in the list here. We'll go over them for a second. And the winner from the last category is the Aranio. Yep, that's right, the spider. This little bastard is vicious. He's extremely fast. He can't jump. And I can't for the life of me figure out how to get him to shoot webs. But there it goes. There we go. You gotta tap left and right trigger. But I've been trying to figure it out for like fucking ever. But he's gonna go on into the next, and at the end of this whole thing, let me take that HUD away real quick. At the end of the whole dino guide, I'm gonna have my fave pick from each one, from each section here. My fave from each one go into a final thing, and then at the end we're gonna have a huge battle. We're gonna have them battle it out. They're gonna fight. They're gonna raise holy hell, and it's gonna be awesome. But yeah, so far we have the spider here, and now we're gonna go on with the next 5, and the first up is the Arthropleura, or centipede. Really, these things are extremely hard to kill. Now they have 2 different attacks. They can bite you. They can lunge forward and bite you, or they can rear their head up and spit at you. Now, if they spit at you, it will pretty much destroy whatever armor you have unless it's riot gear. But they're really cool creatures. I remember when they first put them in the game, they were really glitchy. You would actually fall into the map and all kinds of crazy shit trying to ride one. But let's get into a little bit about these things. These things eat 3 different things. These centipedes eat 3 things: raw meat, spoiled meat, and the broth of enlightenment. I have no idea how to even make the broth of enlightenment, but you know, maybe I'll do a video on, you know, just making recipes and stuff, and you know, showing off a few things. But these guys, like the spider over here, is a non-violent tame. You have to sneak up on them in a ghillie suit and bug repellent, and just feed them and back off, or otherwise your ass is, well, centipede food. Yeah, let's go with that. Now, another thing is they don't have a favorite kibble, and they don't produce a kibble, but you learn their saddle at level 50, and you have to make that in a smithy. And now, hang on guys, I'm getting a message here about something. What is this? Okay, whatever. Don't care. But let's see here. You cannot breed them, which kind of sucks, but still, you know, they're still cool to have. They are carnivores, and they are rideable. Yes, they drop raw meat and chitin, which is the exoskeleton of a bug. If you guys don't know that, but it's like the plate shells on its back, and it only harvests meat. It will only harvest meat. It can only be carried by an Argentavis, a Quetzal, a Wyvern, and a Megalosaurus. And it can damage up to wood. It can break down wood bases and stuff. Now, the only thing that you can actually use to trap this, you can't use bolos or bear traps and that stuff. You have to actually use a lasso, which is pretty interesting. I have not practiced with the lasso. I've not tried it out, so I have no idea if that will even work. They cannot fit through a basic door, but they can go through dino gates and behemoth gates and stuff like that. And now we will go on to the next creature here, the next monstrous dino. This thing is the Baryonyx, or the Baryonyx, however you want to pronounce that. These things are built like a raptor with the face of an alligator, and they are deadly in water and on land. And they actually don't have to breathe underwater, which is really strange, I thought. But look at them little fingers. These things are freaking creepy. Stop staring at me. I'm gonna back away from you for a little bit. But they're really interesting creatures. And they eat they actually eat 3 things: raw fish meat, raw prime fish meat, and patchy rhinoceros kibble. And it is a standard knockout tame. Bust them in the head and feed them. There you go. And their favorite kibble is the patchy rhinoceros kibble. Like I said, the kibble that they produce is unknown. No one knows what type of dino or animal likes their kibble. And their saddle can be made at level 45 in the smithy. So yes, they are rideable. Now, breeding, you can breed them. It takes 2 days and 40 minutes to reach full maturation. I thought that trike was standing over. I was like, I didn't put a trike in here. What the hell? But yeah, they're definitely really interesting. They are carnivores, as you can tell by the teeth there. Back to the Athropleura here. I forgot to mention this part. Let's see here. The main place you will actually find the Athropleura are in caves and in the swamps. They vary from the two different places. Now it's rare that you will see one in the swamps, but you'll see them from time to time. And the Baryonyx is pretty much everywhere around the island. You see them near rivers and swamps and all kinds of shit like that. So they get around quite often. They only drop raw meat and hide. They don't harvest anything. And they can only be carried by an Argentavis, a Quetzal, or a Wyvern. They can break wood bases. The only 3 ways to trap them are plant Y trap, bolo, or bola, however you want to pronounce it, and a bear trap. They won't fit through a regular door frame, but they do fit through dino gates and behemoth gates. And now we'll go into the next thing here, the Beezle Buffo, the toad. These things are really cool. I really like these. These things have a natural tranquilizer where they whack you with their tongue and your ass is unconscious. And they are carnivores. They eat meat, and they like a pulmonis kibble, which we'll talk about pulmonis here in a second. These things are a standard knockout tame. Just whack them in the head, but you better hope you knock it out before it knocks you out. And these things are great for attacking bases and taming dinos and stuff, because you can knock dinos out with the tongue, and you can jump over walls and get into bases. And it prefers pulmonis kibble, which the pulmonis scorpion. Yes, there are giant scorpions in Ark, if you guys did not know that. And we'll get to see some of them later on in here. But you learn their saddle at level 25, and you can make their saddle right out of your inventory. So that's pretty useful. And you can breed them. They are breedable animals. They take 1 day, 18 hours, and 10 minutes for one to reach full maturation, and they get this big. This is the size that they get. Which let's do a side by side here with this thing, and bring it in a little bit and get a little closer on them. Which they're big enough to ride, so that's it's really interesting. Jump here. Let's see if I can get a little view here on him. See what it looks like. It's pretty wicked. I have them force tamed, so that way I don't have to have a saddle to ride them. But yeah, they're pretty interesting creatures. But let's see here. Their nickname is the Toad, which, you know, you can kind of guess that, or frog, or whatever you guys want to call them. They're carnivores. They're found in the swamps mostly. You might see one lurking outside the swamps near a river or something like that, but they tend to stick to the swamplands. They drop meat and hide, raw meat, and they harvest just about everything: pelts, hide, organic polymer, raw meat, raw prime meat, keratin, chitin, cementing paste. They harvest a lot of shit. And they can only be carried by the Argentavis, the Quetzal, the Wyvern, and the Megalosaurus. So, yeah. So if you're going up against somebody with like a pterodon, Tapejara, or a Capro, you're good to go. They can't snatch you off of there, or they can't pick you up. But anything that I said that can carry them, you might be in some deep shit. They can destroy wood bases, which is cool. You can lasso them. You can throw bolos at them, plant wide traps or bear traps. And they can fit through dinosaur gates and behemoth gates, but not a standard gate. And one moment here. There we go. That settles that. Let me get this body out of here. Next up, we'll go over to the Bronto there, which is he's the giant for this category here. Which these guys are definitely destructive, and we'll talk about them here a little bit. Let's get over to the Bronto here in this thing. The Bronto, yes, they are herbivores, vegetarians, whatever. They eat major berries, vegetables, and other berries, and they are standard knockout tame. Now, these things are really interesting because that tail is the biggest weapon this thing has. It won't poke its head down and hit you with it. If you're standing here, right under his head, and he swings that tail around, it doesn't even have to touch you. You get hit by it's an aerial effect. It sweeps down trees, all kinds of shit. But yeah, they're pretty cool. They actually prefer, believe it or not, turtle kibble. So we have a turtle here. We'll talk about him here in a sec. But the kibble that they produce is preferred by saber-tooths. Yep, the saber-tooth tiger. We'll check them out a little later. And the Bronto also has two different types of saddles. You have the regular saddle for riding on his back, which you get at level 55 and craft in a smithy. And then he has a platform saddle where you can build a small house or, you know, a little fortress or something. Or you can place like cannons down or something on his back. And you unlock that at 70, at level 70, and have to craft that in the smithy. And yes, they are breedable. They take 4 days, 1 hour, and 30 minutes to reach full maturation. Excuse me. But yeah, they're very interesting. And if you kill one, you get a trophy for it to use in the thing, the big spires, the obelisks out there to fight the bosses, which I plan on doing a separate video for the bosses and all that stuff at a later time. But the Bronto drops raw meat, raw prime meat, hide, and a sauropod vertebrae, which is one of the items you need to fight the bosses. They harvest berries, thatch, and wood. They cannot be carried. They can only damage wood, which is kind of surprising. When I say they can only damage wood, that means they can break thatch and, you know, but nothing stronger than that, like stone, brick, adobe, metal, all that stuff. So they can't damage none of that, but they can break wood and all that. They cannot be trapped. You can't use bear traps, none of that stuff on them, and they only fit through behemoth gates, which is not really surprising considering this thing is a building with feet and, you know, a neck. So yeah, next we will go on to the carbon nemes is how it's spelt. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but you guys can call them turtles. I don't know, but they eat majo berries, the purple berries, vegetables, and other berries, and they prefer pterodactyl kibble or pterodon, as it's spelled in the game, but you can call them either one. And they're standard knockout tame. You hit them in the head. Now these things are pretty much tanks. You can hit them in the tail, you can hit them in the legs. Those are weak points. You hit them in the shell, it's not doing shit. Best place to hit them is crack them right in the head. And their eyes are really creepy. Little red beady eyes staring at you and stuff. But yeah, they're really cool. From what I've heard that some people use them for actually is they strap C4 to them and send them running out of base and then blow up a wall to get into the base, which is kind of fucked up, but you know, it's a raid. Dinos are gonna get lost on both sides. So, but yeah, they prefer pterodon or pterodactyl kibble, whichever one you want to call it. The kibble they produce is preferred by Brontos, like I said, or the Brontosaurus, the big long necks. And you learn their saddle at level 25, and you can craft that in your inventory, which is really cool. So it's a good startup tame if you've got the necessary things to catch it and trap it, which we'll talk about here in a sec. You can breed them. It only takes a day and 35 minutes to well, 24 hours, 35 minutes a day, 35 minutes, whatever. But for one of them to reach full maturation, and now it's raining. God damn, Ark! It rains more on Ark than it does in the whole European country. I mean, God. And from what I hear, it rains a lot over there. So, but yep, their nickname is the turtle. You guys can call them turtles or whatever. They are herbivores. They drop raw meat, hide, and keratin, which is useful in some spots. They eat berries, thatch, they harvest berries, thatch, and wood. They can only be carried by a quetzal and a wyvern and nothing else, which is pretty interesting. They can break thatch buildings. They actually cannot be trapped, which I did not know. I thought you could maybe, I didn't think you could bolo one, but I figured, you know, you could put a bear trap down or something like that, but they do not fit through regular door frames, so you have to use a dino gate or a behemoth gate to get one in somewhere, unless you pack them down with C4 and blow the door open. But yeah, guys, that's gonna sum it up for this video. Let me know which one of these guys you like the most in the comments. I'm trying to think of a simpler way to name this thing. The Baronyx over here. You got the centipede here. If you guys like him, you can comment on him. The alligator raptor looking thing, I don't know. But the Baronyx, the Beelzebuffo, the toad, the Brontosaurus long neck, or the Carbonemys turtle. Let me know which one you guys like, and because it's hard for me to pick a favorite out of this. I like the turtle. I mean, not the turtle, but I like the toad and the Baronyx over there. So it would be a tie between the two of them for me. But I'm actually gonna let you guys decide who goes into the next round with the spider and advances on. So let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, smash that like button, and may the force be with you. I'll see you guys later.